Hey everyone, this is OKCoyote. Welcome to today's Magic the Gathering December Pack-A-Day Challenge for December 12th. Today's pack is Battle for Zendikar. So, if you are not familiar with what it is I'm doing, I am opening a pack of Magic the Gathering every day in December. That's 31 days, 31 different packs, just for fun, just because we've got all these packs and I thought of no better way to use them. So today's pack is Battle for Zendikar. Zendikar is a very popular plane. It's an adventure plane. It is a lands matter type of set. So landfall, very popular ability in Zendikar sets. We've been here a few times. We've battled here. We've had Zendikar Rising. There's been a few different sets. We fought the Eldrazi here. In fact, I think the Eldrazi might be in this set, or at least two of them. I think Emrakul was on Innistrad when this set, during the storyline of this set. So we faced the other two Eldrazi. Kozilek and Ulamog. That's right. Had to think of them. But yeah, I think there's, if I remember right, I think there's Eldrazi possibly in these packs. There's like colorless cards because of their presence. I don't remember. I don't remember what's in this set. But we're going to find out what's in this pack together. So let's do that right now. All right, starting up with the commons, we have Royal Mage's Trick. This is 3 and a blue for an instant with Converge. Creatures your opponents control get -X, -0 until end of turn, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast Royal Mage's Trick. Draw a card. So the fact it replaces itself is nice, but generally this is a pretty weak ability. If you happen to be playing multicolor, it's kind of cool. Weakens your opponent's creatures, but doesn't kill them. Just reduces their power. Still in the right spot, in the right timing, this can be a pretty key combat trick. Okay. Next up is Dutiful Return. 3 and a black for a sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. A bit pricey, but sometimes you just want to get those creatures back. And that's something that black does a lot with frightening regularity. Swell of Growth. 1 and a green. Instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Well, I don't know how often you're going to have land cards in your hand. I guess in Zendikar you do tend to kind of sit on them in your hand sometimes because you want to be able to trigger landfall at key times. So this is a reason to do it. I mean, if you happen to play a 1-mana creature, then this is a pretty good turn 2 play too. Make your creature bigger and get your 3rd land drop out early. I don't know. It's a combat trick, and I'm sure I can see plenty of uses for it, based around landfall triggers and such. Lithomancer's Focus. 1 white mana. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to that creature this turn by colorless sources. Okay. Another combat trick. This one's a white one. White has a bunch of these. And make a creature bigger and prevent damage from colorless. So, yeah, definitely colorless sources in this set. I don't know how prevalent they are, but they're definitely in there. Outnumber. A red mana for an instant. Outnumber deals damage to target creature equal to the number of creatures you control. That's fine, but generally if I'm playing red, I don't want to have to rely on creatures being in play. I just want to deal that direct damage, so I'm not sure how strong this is. But if you're playing like a goblin deck or something, you got lots of creatures going on, yeah, it's pretty cool. Spell Shrivel. This is 2 and a blue for an instant with Devoid. This card has no color. So even though you're spending blue on it, it is a colorless spell. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Love having counter spells. Love having counter spells that can exile the card that you are countering. For this, it's still it can be worked around if your opponent has 4, but how often does that happen? You know, late in the game, yeah, it's going to happen, but this is a great tempo play, and it removes something really offensive that you just don't want to see. I like it. Speaking of colorless cards, Complete Disregard. This is 2 and a black for an instant with Devoid. No color. Exile target creature with power 3 or less. Love it. Love it. This is how Eldrazi does removal. They exile the things. They just, nope, we don't like this. We want to remove it from this world. So great. Ruin Processor. 7 mana for a colorless Eldrazi processor. Not an artifact, just colorless. It is 7/8. When you cast Ruin Processor, you may put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, you gain 5 life. Okay. So once you've exiled something with one of your other spells, like the 2 previous ones we just looked at, you can be generous and give it back to your opponent, in their graveyard at least, and take 5 life out of the deal. Yeah, that's a May ability, so I mean, if you're feeling generous, you can do that. If not, it's still a 7/8 for 7 at common. At common. Eldrazi are nothing to sneeze at. They are brutal. Skyline Cascade is a land. It enters the battlefield tapped. It taps for a blue mana. And when Skyline Cascade enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Neat little land with a special ability that normally you'd get off a spell or a creature or something. So it's kind of cool to see that on a land. And then it just becomes an island, basically. Eyeless Watcher. This is 3 and a green for a 1/1 Eldrazi drone. It is devoid, so no color. When Eyeless Watcher enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 colorless Eldrazi Scion creature tokens onto the battlefield. They have sacrifice this creature, add 1 to your mana pool. So you're getting 3 1/1s for 4 mana, and 2 of them can be sacrificed to get mana back. Cool, but seems a little weak for its cost. Best I can tell. I'm sure combo players have thought ahead and have come up with some neat things you can do with it. But in draft, I'm not feeling it. Grove Tender Druids, 2 green white for a 3/3 elf druid ally. With Rally, whenever Grove Tender Druids or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 green plant creature token onto the battlefield. That's kind of cool. So this is a 3/3 for 4, or a 3/3 and a 1/1 for 5. And if you happen to grab some other allies in your deck, then later allies will let you play more plants. Yeah, it's not bad. I like creatures that come with other creatures. Like I said, the Eyeless Watcher's a bit on the small side, but the Grove Tender Druids, I like them. They're a bit bigger. They're solid. Vile Aggregate. Oh, I missed the Grove Tender Druids are the first uncommon of this pack, so this is the second. Vile Aggregate is 2 and a red for a star 5 Eldrazi drone. It is devoid, no color. Vile Aggregate's power is equal to the number of colorless creatures you control. It has trample and ingest. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top card of his or her library. So, more things to exile that you can do fun things with Ruin Processor, I guess, or other such cards. But a star 5 trample, how many colorless creatures are you running? Well, if you're playing in like a standard or a modern deck, if you're playing, I say standard, I mean standard back in this time period. If you're playing a constructed deck with cards from this set, this can be built around and can be pretty cool. But if you're drafting, maybe not so much. Maybe not go all in on the colorless plan. I don't know, maybe you get lucky. Malakir Familiar is 2 and a black for a 2/1 bat with flying and death touch. Whenever you gain life, Malakir Familiar gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It's a flyer, it kills things, it can sometimes get bigger, but not permanently. I feel it's a little weak for its mana cost. Okay, before we move on to the rare, let's look at what else is in the pack. We do have an Eldrazi Scion token for use with cards such as Eyeless Watcher. It is a 1/1 colorless token creature that can be sacrificed to add 1 mana to your mana pool. Okay. Because this is Zendikar, our basic land is a full length, a full art mountain. It's really cool. That's something Zendikar has always done well, is lands with extended art that are really pretty. People do love those big art lands. So, our rare is Munda, Ambush Leader. 2 red-white for a legendary creature core ally. It is a 3/4 with haste and rally. Whenever Munda, Ambush Leader, or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may look at the top 4 cards of your library. If you do, reveal any number of ally cards from among them. Then put those cards on top of your library in any order, and the rest on the bottom in any order. So, neat. It's a pretty decent-sized creature with haste, and it lets you search your library, or search the top of your library at least, and grab more allies. Remember that all these allies trigger off of each other coming into play. So you've got this, and you've got that the Grove Tender Druids are another example. So it can be fun to kind of build a deck out of allies and see how it does. The problem is I think the allies are in all of the colors, so it may be hard to build one that works with insufficient, within the bounds of the set, like how much mana fixing you're going to get, how many allies are you going to find in solid colors. So I don't know. It looks like fun. What is my first pick in this set? I am not sure. Part of me wants to take Munda and try to build that ally deck, but I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't see any common allies here, so I don't know how many are in this set. So, again, this is with me not knowing what's in the set. Ruin Processor is cool just because it's a big beastly thing. But it's a late game card. It doesn't have trample or anything like that. I think I gotta go with the removal spell. It's gonna be Complete Disregard. Probably my first choice, because I just like to get rid of things and never see them. So yeah, anyway, that's my pick. This has been the Battle for Zendikar pack. Thank you for joining me for the Magic the Gathering December Pack-A-Day Challenge. Don't forget to like this video if you liked this video. You can subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter at OKCoyote. That's going to do it for today. We'll see you tomorrow with another pack. Thanks. Bye.